Hey guys, we're just about to go live with Natalie Dragt all the way from America. That's United States of America. Just before we go live, if you haven't joined our Facebook group for pageant entrepreneurs, head to facebook.com/groups/the pageant boss. Should be in the description to this video or the podcast below. Let's get you to it. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. You guys know how it is. I never know what time it is for you guys. It is Pageants and PJs. Let me actually unmute everyone now that I should probably let Danielle speak. I mean, maybe I should just keep her on mute, but then she might storm off. I regret everything already. Oh, God. Special guest for Pageants and PJs number 68 is a familiar face, Natalie Dragt, all the way from the United States of America, although I don't quite know where because she just moved and she was telling me and I forgot to ask where. So, Natalie, whereabouts are you at the moment?
So I'm still in Texas, but I just recently moved to Dallas.
And she was telling me about her road rage, if you've seen Natalie's TikTok. Are you normally an angry person? Because you strike me as quite a laid-back and easygoing person, but behind the wheel, you seem to be quite angsty.
You know, I would say that I'm a good driver. I'm pretty mellow, but then you ask anybody else and they're terrified to ride with me. And I just don't really get why, but I think it's because I'm pretty zippy when I drive. So if someone's not letting me over, I'm going to make room for myself. And in Dallas traffic, when there is semis that are going 90 miles per hour, it gets a little touchy. There's a few horn honkings. I've never had to use my horn until I moved here.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
When you say make room for yourself, this obviously is something that you do that we don't do in Australia. How does one make room for oneself in a car?
Well, you see, you never want to pull out in front of a semi because it gets a little touchy there because they don't brake as well. But anything smaller than a truck, then you can just kind of get in there because you know what? It's on them. They're the ones that end up getting a ticket and getting fined if they hit you. So you make room.
I don't know how you guys fly around. Yes. I mean, I was telling Nat about the speed limits here because obviously Nat's talking about miles an hour. So we do kilometers an hour here in Australia, which is you got to multiply by 1.6. But I think the fastest that our trucks are allowed to go is 110. That's in K, so that would be like 70 miles an hour. Yeah, so to hear about semis doing probably like 90 and 100 miles an hour, that's kind of terrifying. But
doesn't stop them. Sketchy. No, not much stops us Texans. That's why everybody doesn't like it when Texans go to other states because we drive the way that we do, which is in a very frantic manner all of the time. And everybody hates it when they see a Texas license plate out on the road.
Love that. It's the same as soon as you hit London. As soon as you get within the M25, which is the big motorway that goes around London, everyone's got their driver's license out of cereal box, honestly. Like the driving is ridiculous and you notice it as soon as you get within the M25.
Well, Gizzelle, isn't it?
I dropped off for a bit.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, what were you going to ask Gizzelle? I'm just going.
I was just going to ask her. So, my dad was just in Africa, and he said that the driving is absolutely insane. There's like not much there. So, what's the driving like in Africa?
It's crazy that he said the driving is hectic. Wow. Well, as I was hearing you guys talk about this, in South Africa, I always thought was crazy with driving. Because we have taxis. It's a little bit different to I think what you guys are used to. A taxi, it's like a minibus here, what we call a taxi, and they just they'll go from the right lane straight over to the left just to turn off because why follow rules? And I thought that was quite crazy, and I was also having semi-road rage because how can you do that? And then I went to Egypt.
You have road rage? I can't imagine Natalie having road rage. I can't imagine you having rage.
at all.
No.
Quite frightening. Yeah, seeing this, friendly face, and everybody's like, "Whoa, okay, you do have an angry side." Like,
Oh dear.
most people do.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
but
then what were you saying? You went over to Egypt?
the driving there is, you guys know, you don't want to hire a car when you go to Egypt. Just no, don't hire a car. There's no lanes painted. Usually it's 4 lanes, within the direction that you're driving. So there will be around about 7 or 8 cars next to each other. Just you have to have
no giveaway lines.
Nothing. I was
Okay.
sitting like this the whole time, when we were driving. So yeah, I've seen the worst. So you guys are still good. Just making space for yourself, like Natalie. All good.
I don't know. I've
feel
seen some driving on some driving shows. I think in Southeast Asia, places like India or Vietnam might actually be worse because you talk about 7 or 8 cars sort of driving next. They just sort of merge with one another, and there's people like living basically in their cars. There'll be people on motorcycles, reclining in their chair with their feet over the handlebars, reading a newspaper whilst they're on a motorcycle. So as bad as Egypt or Texas might be, I'm not sure it's got anything on that.
I don't know though. I got stuck on the Autobahn in Germany, and we got stuck in a total snowstorm. We were at a complete standstill. We thought that we were going to be sleeping in the car for the night. It snowed about 2 feet while we were just sitting there. Every European out there got themselves a little chair that they had in the back of their car, popped it up out on the Autobahn. They were all just there in the middle, smoking a cigarette, living their best lives. Meanwhile, us Americans are freaking out because every single weather station is speaking German, and we're like, great, this is it, this is the end. And every European is out there in their snow caps and smoking a cigarette with everybody.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's right. You come from Texas, where if it drops below like a sunny and balmy like 5,000 degrees, you guys freeze to death.
Oh,
So you're the opposite of someone like Danielle, because in the UK, when it gets above 20 C, everyone's like, "Oh my God, heat wave! It's bikini weather." You would be outside freezing. It's so weird. What's the weather like for you at the moment, Danielle? I mean, it's coming into summer in the UK, so what's the weather like?
Currently, it's cold, but earlier, just before we jumped on, it was pouring it down, hailing it down so bad that my other half didn't want to get out of the car because you just it's like a torrential downpour. But I'm in Wales, so it's known for being quite wet here.
Known for being wet and damp. That's you might have to have a
I'm
word to the tourism board about marketing Wales a bit better than the wet and damp place in the UK.
Everything's like lush and green. Same within Ireland as well. Ireland's very green because it gets a lot of rain.
It's true, but I don't like being rained on. So it's nice to look at the green, but I'd like to actually be able to go outside and not get, wet and damp, much like Wales. Now, just before we continue, if you haven't noticed, no, that's not Chloe below me. That is Gizzelle Uys, just in case you're wondering whether Chloe has changed her name and miraculously changed her accent.
Face.
Gizzelle, are you able to do any Irish accent? Any accents? I mean, you're an actress.
You just did it. Oh,
yes.
We're live. Chloe will hurt me. She will kill me.
I believe we're live. Guys, if you have any questions or embarrassing requests, please put them in the comments. So, Gizzelle, as an actress, can you do any accents? I'm curious.
I'm the worst at that. I don't even know where my accent is from. I'm speaking every day.
I assume it's from South Africa.
This is not a South African accent.
Well, it's definitely part South African. It is a mix, but I can hear the South African in it. Danielle, do you quickly, for Natalie, want to do your Welsh accent? Just because you can do that one really, really well.
Hello. Let's go to my Emma Jenkins. And hello, everybody. My name is Danielle Latimer, and I currently live in Cardiff.
Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
She can do that impression. She sounds more like Emma Jenkins than Emma Jenkins does, our former Miss Universe GB. It's really quite scary.
Natalie?
We had her on, and Natalie, Oh, if you want Natalie to do an accent,
Can you do any accents?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
Well, you see, I don't really do accents that well. I'm from Seattle, so I think I've picked up the Texas accent fairly well. So that's like the main one. But my roommate for college next year is from the UK. She's from Brighton. And then
Oh,
yes, it's crazy. And then one of my close friends, he's Australian. And so my parents are like, you're going to have the weirdest Texas accent. It's going to be mixed with Australian, British, and then this weird Southern accent that you've picked up. So I do catch myself. Like, I can't do a British accent. I can't do an Australian accent. But then just randomly a word will come out and it sounds like one or the other. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm already
You'll pick up the slang as well, because I feel like Australians have got a lot of slang, and the Brits, we have a lot of slang. So I know that I speak to some people in the States and I say something, they're like, what is that? And I'm like, oh yeah, I forget that it's slang.
Yes.
So you'll pick loads of that up.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping I don't go home for Christmas and my family's just like, where did she come from? She's not related to us. So we'll see.
Well, I remember back in the day, you and Ray Chevron were doing the whole things that Australians say versus things Americans say. What were some of them? I remember it was a thongs one. The thongs one is always hilarious because to everyone else, thongs is we shouldn't be talking about it. But for us Aussies, thongs are flip-flops. What were some of the other weird ones?
One was like a jumpsuit. Y'all call it a jumper. And then, let's see, barbecue, you call it a Barbie. Let's see, which a Barbie is a doll for us. And let's see, everything that y'all seem to say is just shortened. So some of like the
because
slang,
we're lazy.
Yeah,
because
but
we're lazy.
Texans are lazy, but then I heard the Australians speak and I'm like, whoa, okay. There it is.
Well, okay, but Texans, you correct me if I'm wrong, but Texans will tend to speak more slowly in tempo, right, than, let's say, a New Yorker.
I don't know, if you get one really mad, they tend to speed up when they talk, and then you just don't really understand them because there's a lot of, they cut every word off. So, like if they are fixing to go do something, then they say fixin' or cooking, or just like they forget the ing at the end. They just kind of leave it there. So we do speak a little bit slow, but we make up for the time because we tend to cut those words off.
Right, okay. Because I would say the Australian accent is lazy, but they don't speak slowly. So it is a bit different. Like the Australian accent, you basically don't move your mouth.
Right.
It's like, how you going? You just say, hey, and it's all one word. How you going? And BC, my mouth hardly moves. It's not, how are you going? It's, how you going? I don't have to move my mouth.
Pronunciate.
We don't pronounce anything. And as you said, it's all shortened. So Natalie would be Nat. Danny would be Dan or Danny.
Dan.
Gizzelle would be Giz. I don't have a nickname.
No.
Dan or Danny. Well, that's not my fault. Yes, that's what they would actually call you. And Gizzelle, I had like a 10-year-old student who told me to call her that. And, you have to do what people ask you to do. So
my goodness. No. It's horrible.
It's not my fault. That's your name. It's your name. I didn't call you. I have to change Gizelle's Instagram handle because that's not actually her Instagram. Whilst I'm doing that, let's go around the virtual room and get everyone catch us up on how their week has been. Oh, just before I do that, quickly catching up with comments. Michelle has said hello from over in Canada.
Bonjour.
Rachel has said driving in Paris is ridiculous. I have heard that one, particularly around, I think, the Arc de Triomphe. Apparently you can't even get insurance around there. Elizabeth has said, hey. Oh, this one's for Natalie. Jarrett has said, I'm upping Natalie's car insurance.
Thanks, Dad.
Love that.
Appreciated.
Oh, that's your dad.
Well, I was assuming it wasn't just some stranger offering to pay for Natalie's car insurance. Although it is the internet, you never know. Michelle is saying, is there a lot of car accidents? Well, no. Australia is pretty tame. UK, I mean, South Africa.
No,
what's South Africa like,
strict.
Gizzelle? You're pretty strict.
Well, it's not cars bumping into each other. It's the potholes that create the accidents. So, yep.
How big are your potholes? Sometimes around here, they're like swimming pools. You can disappear in them.
Yes, we had it. Over here, the one big news broadcasting channel, well, it's called Carte Blanche. and they actually had a video of somebody jumping into a pothole and actually just washing himself, so he was covered right about until his neck. That's how big. Yep, that's how big
not
it
a
is.
pothole.
That's not a pot. That's a crater.
That's someone's swimming pool.
That's a lake.
That's
That's a lake in Texas.
it's an oasis.
That's
Okay.
true.
Rachel has said, Danny, you sound so much like Mia Rose Lewis with your Welsh accent, lol.
Aww.
Does this mean that all Welsh people basically sound the same?
The same.
Because if you do an impression of one Welsh person, you get confused with everyone else. But Danny, you were saying that Gabby and Emma sound quite different.
Gabby has more. I feel like Emma's more sing-songy. Hello, everybody. My name is Emma Jenkins, and everyone looks absolutely beautiful. Whereas I feel like, whereas I feel like Gabby's is a little bit more like quick. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit more. It's got a bit more tempo to it. Whereas Emma sounds a bit sing-songy.
Natalie, when your roommate from the UK comes over, see what they think of the Welsh accent. Because honestly, there are people in the UK who just... Because Gabriella is the current Miss World Wales for 2019, but with Corona, whatever. And literally her Facebook group or the private group, they just message her words to get her to say them because of her Welsh accent. Like they got her to say discombobulated. And every time I have the girl on for an interview or anything, people will either get her to say something or they will say that they like her accent. So she can never be left alone about her accent. But the Welsh, the one thing that I do know about the Welsh is they say beauty as booty, which I find quite... Yeah, they can't say beauty. They say booty. It's always booty. So you're beautiful. And I'm really into booty. I'm really into booty. And like, okay.
As an actress, I'm loving this free accent classes, guys. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the one that I was taught about, the Scottish accent by Olivia McPike. I don't know if you guys have heard this. If you want to say, what is it?
Space Ghettos.
If you want to say, Spice Girls in a Scottish accent, you say Space Ghetto in an American accent. Do you want to give that a go?
Space Ghetto. That.
Yeah,
Spice
that
Girl?
sounds. Yeah. Space Ghetto.
Wow.
Space Ghetto.
Yeah. You've now become Scottish. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, it matches the hair, so.
Giselle, come on, give it a go. Say Space Ghetto in an American accent.
I'm so horrible at it. Space Ghetto?
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
You've literally become a Scottish person.
I am from Scottish descent, so, have to...
And
that's right. You don't know where your dad's from, though. Have you found out actually where your dad is from other than Scotland?
My grandfather, and we talked about this the other day, and I'm still so bad at that.
He's just from Scotland somewhere, who knows where. Okay, before I forget myself, let's go around the room. We'll start with Ms. Latimer in the top right. How has your week been?
Yeah, not bad. We had a bank holiday Monday today, so I've had a nice 3-day long weekend. I've been very lazy, but I have sorted out my entire wardrobe. I've done my entire lookbook for Galaxy International. I bought my gown finally. Was it 93 days out of the pageant, and I finally bought the gown. I'm trying not to.
Or it's in transit.
No, it's
You've
in
given money.
She's posting it tomorrow. I've paid for it in full. So that should be coming next week. I'm very excited about that. For those that don't know, I am like a massive gown buff. And what I will say is, because I have told a few people, I won't tell people like the color or the design or whatever. What I will say is it's a Venezuelan designer.
Oh.
Ooh.
So I'm
That'll
super
be
happy.
amazing.
Different.
Yeah.
So super happy about that. But then everything else for the rest of the time at the pageant, I'm pretty much done.
Wow. Okay.
When is the pageant?
It's August. So the final will be on August. It's either the 4th or the 8th. I think there's not too sure because the pageant might be cut short potentially because of COVID. We're not sure if we're doing prelims or not. But it starts on the 2nd, I think, 2nd of August.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Early
So that's
August
been my
in
week.
Chicago. That sounds exciting. How's your bank account doing?
Very, very sad. I bought a pair of shoes today that I was obsessing over for 3 hours. So I thought, just get
I
the
saw
damn
that.
shoes. And
Do I want
yeah.
to know how much those shoes cost? Because I think I will
No,
go and cry if I find out.
they're not that bad. They're Prada.
They just looked really expensive. That's what I mean. They've got a Prada label on them and they look like that. I'm like, oh, like £200, £300?
Just under 200. But that's good for secondhand for Prada shoes. But they are secondhand, but they are pristine.
Just trying to remember the
I don't
last time
think
I
that's
spent
that
that much money on
expensive.
a pair of shoes. No,
Is-
no, not for you guys, but coming
Not for
from
girls,
me, I mean,
no. Although men's shoes
Yeah.
are quite spenny, they're expensive. Like for a good pair of brogues, or they're really expensive.
Rogues, but when I was over in America, I was walking past, I think it was a Louis Vuitton store, and I saw these shoes, men's shoes, and I was like, that's ridiculous. Is that price for one shoe or two? I think it was 3 or 4. No, I think it was $600 for a pair of like
that's
men's
normal.
just black leather shoes. I'm like, what makes that so much, 10 times better than my pair of school shoes? I don't think they would have appreciated me going in there and saying that.
You
which
should
is
go
probably
ask
why
next time. Everybody's probably interested in the answer.
No, they wouldn't let me in the store. They have these people. No, they have these people out front that kind of look you up and down, and you need to look a certain way, literally, before they let you in. They have the glasses. They pour you the champagne and all this, and I was probably dressed like this, so they're like, no.
No.
Sorry, sir, we're full.
in some stores they can be like that. If you walk into an Hermes store, you can't walk into an Hermes store and buy a bag. You just can't. You have
Why?
to be to buy an Hermes bag, like for example a Birkin or a Kelly bag. You have to have purchase history from buying smaller garments or smaller items from Hermes. So, for example, they do like blankets and scarves and bracelets, jewelry, and all that. So you have to have bought 5 pieces from Hermes before you can even apply to buy a bag. And so when you're in there, you create a wish list. And on the wish list, you write down all the specifics of the bag you want. So, for example, I want an orange ostrich Birkin bag. And when it gets made, and there's one in nearby, they'll have it shipped to that local store for you. But you can only purchase it once you've purchased 5 other items from the store. So you can't just walk in and buy a bag.
That's kind of not a real, like a store that I would probably go to, just to be honest. I think that's why for a lot of girls, like having an Hermes bag is like the top of the wish list. It is the most expensive brand of bags out there. So that's like, if you like designer things, usually the Hermes bag is up the top there to own. It is a status symbol.
How do you girls' bags look? Mine is abused. I just throw things in there and just doesn't even want to zip up. How can you abuse a bag like that?
I think these bags, I don't think they're going to be throwing their bags around, but I have a lot of bags, so I try and change them up so they get less use, so they don't get so beaten up so quickly.
Yeah, you've got to like spread the usage out. Like I completely destroyed one of my Louis Vuitton bags when I was working a few weeks ago, just because there's like 3 pairs of heels plus a makeup bag plus a curling iron and just tore. So disappointing.
Was it a Neverfull?
Was it what?
Was it the Louis Vuitton Neverfull? The big ones, like
no,
the big,
it was
almost like
purse.
a tote. Oh, okay. Because those Neverfulls are always breaking and snapping because people fill them up too much.
Yep.
So yeah, I've heard so many horror stories about people's Louis Vuitton Neverfulls breaking.
I know. No, I mean, it was a good lesson to have to learn to spread everything out. So I guess, like in conclusion, Mom, Dad, if you're watching, I just need like 6 Louis to protect one.
Up your insurance and amounts of bags.
But I mean, for that price, shouldn't you be getting something that doesn't, I don't know, just tear? I mean, as a guy, that's what I'm looking at. Like, you spend that much money on something and it just tears. Why? Oh, because you put something in it. I mean, really?
Yeah. I mean, it's disappointing. It looks pretty, though.
I mean, a lot of them come with, like,
but then it tears.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
them come with, like, I think Chanel's come with like a lifetime guarantee to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And
So does Valentino.
they tend to be more
Right.
durable because they are better quality leather. Unless you get like a calf
Yeah.
skin, then they scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Well, that's fair enough. On the subject of fashion, someone posted up. I think it's one of my American friends posted up this site that is doing reviews into the major fashion brands to see how ethical they are. And I think I want to try and get an interview with her because it's fascinating what she does. I will say some of the most popular pageant brands are kind of on the top of the hits list, getting a grand total of 0 out of 100. Shein, for example, got 0 out of 100.
Yeah.
For ethical sourcing, paying people the appropriate wages. I think it was environmental footprint as well. And I really want to interview her because everyone in pageant land talks about fast fashion. The only thing is, after I interview her, maybe no one will be able to buy anything, but I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? We'll deal with that bridge once we get there. I'm not going to ask her about Sherry Hill because I looked it up preemptively and Sherry Hill's not listed. So I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't want to ask about that one. But yeah, Shein, because my last interview was wearing a lovely Shein dress, but that got 0 out of 100, which is not a good score. It's not like golf where lower is better. That was a bad score. So that's something to think about. Fast fashion.
This is why I advocate buy pre-loved. If you like nice things, buy pre-loved designer. That's the most sustainable and you still look fabulous.
Yes. Well, if you have your fashion sense, then yes. If you have my fashion sense, then no, you look like a clown that's come out some mental asylum. Gizzelle, why don't you catch us up? Well, I mean, that's a bit cruel. You've done a few things since I last interviewed you or I had you on. Do you want to catch us up on all the things that have kept you busy?
From the last time we had an interview?
The last time you were on the podcast.
Oh my goodness, that's so many months ago. Well,
Halloween,
yeah. And just like for Natalie, we in South Africa don't celebrate Halloween. I've never experienced anything like that. So we had like a little theme and I enjoyed dressing up. So I might just come and visit the States just to experience that. But yeah, a lot has happened since we've last seen each other. I have won an international title.
Yes, she did.
We'll just sneak that in there.
Just slip that in there. It's the first for South Africa and first for Africa as a continent.
Wow.
For this pageant though, just obviously not the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Our Miss Universe has left for Universe today, so she looks absolutely
beautiful.
She's stunning, and she looks a lot like Demi Lee for me.
Yeah,
bad to say that, but she resembles a lot. And I've just been getting older. Oh my word! Like I'm turning 24 soon, and like this week I was like, I need a nap like 5 times a day. This is not okay.
That's because you just came back from 5 or 6 weeks of international pageant. Everyone dies after that.
Yeah, that's a lot of weeks, guys. A lot of weeks.
Although
but it was fun.
You are the only one, because I caught up with you a couple of days ago. You were the only one, and Natalie and Danny, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You were the only one who's come back from an international pageant and put on weight. Everyone who goes to like a grand or something like that, they all lose weight because it's so stressful. Gizzelle managed to put on weight. Do you want to tell them what you ate for breakfast? Tell them what you were eating for breakfast.
Just hear this. They had obviously like a big buffet, so there was chocolate donuts, and I wasn't shy. I didn't take just one, I took 3. They're same in that. Well, waffles with Nutella, all the pastries you can think of, and then the one pastry had a chocolate inside too. So Gizzelle was just living on chocolate.
Living your best life. I love that. It is like you're on holiday, isn't it?
And the worst is, because I mean, this question pops up before pageant girls, you guys know, so many times, like, oh, okay, after, the pageant, what's the first thing that you're going to eat when you're home? And, you have to still be the example and still say, no, I'm not just going to go have a burger or whatever. I'm still going to eat healthy.
Really?
I'm still going to be.
That's what everyone says that I know. McDonald's.
That's me. I do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing for me, even just, McDonald's. But, you still have to be the example. But I was like, it's not afterwards, the diet and stuff. It's during the pageant.
I love that.
So that's how they do breakfast in Egypt. If you're wondering, chocolate donuts and Nutella waffles. Yeah, that's what we call calorically dense food. That sounds like fun. Okay, well that's Gizzelle caught us up. Natalie, I don't remember when I last interviewed you. I remember
last summer.
Was it last year? It was over a year ago, wasn't it?
It hasn't been over a year. I think it was like in June, maybe May.
June. All I remember is that when I interviewed Natalie, as she said before you guys popped on, she shared the wrong link. She actually shared this link. So I was having weird people popping up below. I'm like, who's that? Because no one else is supposed to be popping. Like, what's going on? Because she'd shared the StreamYard link.
Meanwhile, he has this tutorial video that's like explaining everything as to what to expect on these videos. And then I'm minding my own business. I'm curling my hair while listening to this 7-minute video. And I hear, make sure you share the right link. And meanwhile, it's a new video from since last time we talked. And I was like, I feel attacked. Like that was aimed at me. I'm the only one that has done that. That's my fault.
You are the only person who's done that. And also your internet last time was
Keep in mind, I lived in a cotton field. I was straight up in the middle of a cotton field. Now I'm in a major metroplex, so my Wi-Fi is on superbly better.
It puts us all to shame. Can I just quickly ask, I forgot to ask this, that TikTok you put up about Texan water, is that really true?
Yeah.
Like, don't drink the water because what does it have in it?
So I was really upset because so many people have been asking, what do you eat in a day? Like as a pageant girl or like as a model. I was like, okay, fine. Like I'm into this. I would love to make a video. So I was really excited, very proud of my editing skills on that video. I post it. And one of the last comments that was commented was, wow, you drink 8 bottles of water a day. That's a little, that's unsafe for the environment. And I was like, oh, okay, whoever commented this is not from Texas. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to educate some people on this. And so that video that I made about my diet only got 1,000 likes. Meanwhile, I made a video responding to the water bottle comments, and I think it got several thousand. And I was just like, okay. So basically the gist of it, when you're on city water, then the water tends to be a little bit better here in Texas. But if you are on well water, which is just the water that like from the ground, but keep in mind, like I said, I'm from a cotton field. So that field had been farmed with all the chemicals that goes into the ground. It tends to seep into that as well. So actually our water is not very good to drink. It's probably not safe to drink either. And so I've grown up drinking bottled water. And when I lived in Washington, it was tap water. I could drink out of the hose. It was wonderful. And then we moved to the desert. Exactly. We moved to the literal desert, middle of nowhere, and you cannot even swallow your water when you're brushing your teeth. It was really bad. Then we got lucky because we were able to maintain our well water, but the people that live inside of the city, which at the time I lived in San Angelo, they were unable to even shower for about a week, maybe 2 weeks, because there was a backflow issue. And so experts were saying that the amount of chemicals that were in the water at the time, if they wouldn't have caught the issue, people would have started to go blind. And so I made this video because our town declared a state of emergency. And so I made this video back to this girl and I was like, actually, this is why I drink bottled water. My town is in a state of emergency. They are quite literally bringing in water to give away to people because there is none left in our town. And this poor girl, she starts getting these comments back to her. It's like, you should have done your research. And she responds back.
She wasn't to know.
She was from Canada. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's okay. Like y'all can probably drink out of the hose there. But Yes, it was pretty bad for a little while. Then we had I don't know if y'all saw it on your news, but Texas got hit with one of the worst freezes it's had in several hundred years. And so we had the water issue, then we had the freeze. So then pipes were bursting. So then there really wasn't any water. And some areas didn't have water for about 3 weeks.
When you had a load of storms as well, like roughly the same time.
Yeah, it was straight up like a blizzard. We have never seen that much snow before.
In Texas.
In Texas. It was crazy. I was ice skating on the lakes, which has never happened. So it was insane.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
That reminds me of, you see the movie Erin Brockovich?
Yes, she commented about the issue. Yeah, so we're a super small town. San Angelo's had some issues over the last few months. They got named as the #2 COVID hotspot in America during the summer. We're just like,
yay.
We're this super small town. Like, what is going on? So, and then Erin Brockovich commented on Facebook about it, and we're just like, we're getting famous. Like, look at us. So, for all the wrong reasons. But thankfully, we got through that. I moved, so doing much better.
Fair enough. Do you want to catch us up? What sort of pageant plans you have? Because I love what you set up behind you, so you can see the sashes.
Yeah.
You can see a very familiar book there.
Oh,
Nice book, by the way.
Have to
Product placement.
This aside, have to display it.
Yeah.
So let's see. The last year has been pretty crazy. I ended up going homeschool, which Adrian, I think you knew that part, but I went homeschool for my senior year. I'm supposed to be graduating this year, which I will be, just virtually. So I homeschooled this year and got to travel quite a bit, got to go to Miss USA, watch all my friends competing. It was absolutely amazing. Let's see what else happened. I competed at internationals for IJM Texas Teen, and it was absolutely wonderful. I had a great time, placed top 15. And then the week after the crazy storms, I ended up moving to Dallas in my own apartment. And so everyone was kind of shocked. They were like, oh my gosh, you're supposed to be finishing your senior year of high school in person. And now I've moved 5 hours away from home in this apartment and have committed to Southern Methodist University. So that's pretty amazing. I've gotten to work for Sherry Hill now twice on her August and let's see, this was like 2 weeks ago. So I guess April market runway shows. So that was pretty incredible. It was a great experience. Loved working for her. She's an amazing boss. But coming up, I'm actually preparing, Danny, I'm right there with you. I just ordered my gown for Miss Texas Teen USA. So I cannot wait. It's one of the biggest pageants in North America. So
it's huge.
It is.
I watch it.
It's so much fun. Everybody keeps asking me, are you going to go back to a different pageant system? And I keep telling them no, just because USA is where I started, which was so intimidating, but I loved it. And so USA is where I want to end as well, whether that be with a title or just on a winning experience. So I can't wait to compete. And that is the first weekend in September.
Okay, so that's still a few months off. Your pageants, you probably know this, Natalie, but the pageants, for those of you watching at home, the pageants in the United States, as far as I can tell, are just on another planet. It's not even a different level. I was working with a former, not a USA title holder, but she'd done very, very well in that system, and she was competing in another system now where the prize was a $60,000 scholarship. And, you know, just to think that there's $60,000 on offer for the winner, granted it's a scholarship, but I've not seen the likes of that anywhere in Australia or the UK or anywhere else.
Yeah.
So when you hear about how big the pageants are in America, it's like, well, it's no wonder. I mean, first, it's, you know, one of the homes, one of the central places for pageantry, but also just the fact that there are such amazing prize packages. I mean, IJM got voted, I think, best prize package on Pageant Planet, if I'm not mistaken. It was IJM or RM, one of them. And the prize packages compared to what we get here in Australia, I mean, basically here in Australia, you get a crown.
A crown and a sash.
Well, you get a prize package. I'm just trying to think. So you get maybe a makeup sort of thing, you know, the goodies bag and the hamper. And it could be a few $100s. I don't want to be, you know, disrespectful of that. And then you get to compete internationally. But compared to what you win in America, the girls would be like that's just unfair. Like we win over here in Australia, we get this, and you win in America and you get that. But it's just
imagine what you win
industries.
when you win in the Philippines or Venezuela.
Yeah.
They are rock stars overnight. You are a supermodel, most famous person in the world at that time when you win.
Yeah.
Life
Philippines, you're basically
forever.
a famous, you're an idol in the Philippines.
Yeah.
It's not like that in America, but I will say that the prize packages here are truly incredible. They have set it up to where beauty pageants are still beauty pageants, but also scholarship programs, which is incredibly nice for the girls that are competing in my age group, because we do need that scholarship money. So we all greatly appreciate that.
Because your college education costs a lot of money, unlike, well, in Australia, it's basically paid for by the government, so we don't need that. But yes, in America, once you graduate, and one of your great gifts is that you have student debt, which some of you end up spending the rest of your lives paying for. And apparently, even if you go bankrupt, you still have to pay for it.
Yes.
It's just like,
student loans are the only loans. Yeah, I know. Student loans are the only loans that if you file for bankruptcy, you have to pay back no matter what.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can't escape those.
No, you can't even. But I think it was Bernie Sanders was saying that rather than putting money into like the military or something, just pay off all the, forgive all student debt. Yeah. And they would have been able to do that, which I was like, well, that sounds like a good idea. But in Australia, we don't have that issue because for the bachelor degrees, anyway, the undergrad degrees, it's paid for by the government. Natalie, do you also want to just give you a chance to talk about your platform? I'm just looking at, reminding myself of the name, The Fearfully and Wonderfully Made. Is that still going to be your platform moving forward?
Yeah, it is. So I started this platform when I was about 14, and I started by just speaking to schools, going to middle schools, groups. IJM really helped me to strengthen that platform, and I ended up winning an International Spokesmodel Award based off of that platform. So that was a wonderful opportunity. Loved it. And I'm continuing to do that, but it's made it a little bit difficult with COVID because a lot of schools are very skeptical of bringing in some teenager that they've got no idea who she is, where she's been, and why she's wanting to do this. So it can be a little bit nerve-wracking for them, but I just finished writing a children's book, and now I have finals this week. So after I finish my finals, I'm hoping to get that published before Texas Teen USA, so that way I can reach the younger age groups. That way, little backstory as to what Fearfully and Wonderfully Made means. I'm not standing up, but I'm a 5'10" redhead, so I'm extremely tall for a girl, and I'm a little shorter than you, Adrian, but I'm pretty tall.
You're a lot shorter. You're a lot shorter. Come on.
Like this much.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm holding on to that, Natalie, until the day I die. Continue.
Well, I haven't grown since I was 10, so I mean, props to you. But yes, I've stuck out since I was younger. I walked through the halls of junior high, and I was just this absolute giant because, like I said, I stopped growing at the age of 10 years old. Meanwhile, I'm taller than most adults. So it was a really hard time to go through. Even into high school, I still stuck out quite a bit, even when the population was more diverse in student height and student looks. But it was a really tough time to go through. And my platform is actually a Bible verse. And so it's that you were fearfully and wonderfully made. So basically it's saying that no matter how you were created, what shape, what height, what shade your color is of your hair, your skin tone, no matter what, you were born to do amazing things. And that was something that I absolutely forgot as a preteen and even into high school. So I travel around to reinstill those thoughts into those kids because, like I said, it was something I forgot, and I realized it's something that a lot of kids they don't remember about themselves either.
Look at you now, Sherry Hill model.
Yes.
The height comes in handy for that.
It has. I will definitely say pageantry is what made me love the way that I look. My mom randomly entered me into this pageant. It was Miss Texas Teen USA. Didn't even know how to put makeup on. And I just went into this pageant, but I stuck out. I was the only redhead. I was the tallest girl in heels. I'm 6'4". So it gave me a leg up because everyone's either like, hey, the tall girl, like we liked her, or hey, it's the ginger. We thought she was kind of funny. So a funny looking or funny in personality, I don't know. But either way, it helped me stick out quite a bit. And that's when I fell in love with the way that I looked.
Yeah, being 5'10" at the age of 10, I didn't realize it was at the age of 10. I did the same as you, but for me it was 12. So I was over 6 foot at the age of 12. I remember because in Australia we have primary school and secondary school, so primary is up until the age of 12, and then you move to another school very often for high school. I remember my school photos. I don't remember if I told you this. Literally, because the front row were half my height. It was ridiculous. You know, like sometimes there's a height difference, a tall person, short person, but you're looking and like they're barely up to my belly button. It's hysterical. And then I was actually quite sad because everyone started catching up because I stopped growing in secondary school. Although height for guys, obviously, it's a very different proposition for girls. I think being tall as a guy is seen universally as a good thing. And for girls, it's, sticking out. And then the redhead probably wouldn't have helped with blending in, let's just say.
Gizzelle, how tall are you? Because I can imagine you being quite tall.
No, I'm actually really short.
Really? I envisioned you being like 5'9", 5'10", 5.
Well, I'm not sure about feet because we use meters. So I'm about, well, I'm not actually supposed to say this on the internet, but 168, would I say? 1'7". Just outed myself. There we go.
1 centimeter's fine. Everyone ups their height. Kate Moss says she's 5'7". She ain't. She's 5'5".
Oh, Steve. Okay, not the only one. Agency's gonna turn me away. He's like, you liar. I think that's about what, 5'8", isn't it?
Yeah.
170.
Yeah.
So I'm just under the mark of, runway. Oh, shame. Poor girl.
But you look. Oh, Adrian's gone. Bye, Felicia.
All girls now. Okay.
All hell can break loose now.
Right.
That'll be his terrible Australian Wi-Fi. I love how he digs you out for having terrible Wi-Fi, but his does this on a regular basis.
Exactly. Well, that's what I didn't realize my service was that bad until I went back and watched it. And it was rough to watch the whole thing. I was just like, oh, he was right. My Wi-Fi is really tough. But
was it like freeze? It
wasn't even that it would freeze. I'd just be sitting there smiling and not thinking that he was talking. And then like about 10 seconds later, I'd hear it come through and it was just lagging so bad that I was like, oh, this is terrible.
It's all right, Adrian.
Did I miss anything?
I had your back there.
Thank
keeping
you.
the show rolling as you went off for a coffee break.
I'm sure it would have been a lot better when I was gone. That is. But Gizzelle, I dropped out when you were saying how tall you are. You're what, 5'6" or 5'7"?
5'7", 8.
5'7", 8.
Yeah, when I up it. Just a normal
5'8"
thing.
is not short.
She's like 6 foot.
Yeah. Super tall.
5'8" is not
you
short.
Look really
Maybe.
long. You look really like long and lean and really tall.
I think it's my feet. Well, I think my hair helps. My hair is like really.
Oh yeah, it makes you look
my
like
hair,
linear.
I have super long hair. Maybe.
Jeez. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's at my hips. Yeah, super long.
Oh, I'm getting my hair cut for the first time since lockdown on Saturday next week, and I cannot wait because my split ends have split ends, and my hair is now past my belly button now. So it's I need to.
Wow. Okay.
I'm thinking about getting those long bangs. What do you think, guys? Long bangs.
I fight the urge to just like chop my hair off to like right here every day. And then like with the cute flowy bangs, you know what I mean?
I think you'd be really cute with like a crop.
Try it.
Thank you, Mom.
I think
you'd
be so cute on you. You've got good like jawline.
I was going to say,
face
you know what you're doing, Danielle. You're getting in the mid. You're going to start a massive argument between Natalie and her mum. That was so obvious. Natalie wants to do it, and the only reason she's not doing it is because her mum is telling her not to.
Let's go blonde. Why not? Throw that in the mix. I mean, maybe some black. You know,
you'd have to ombre it though, because you couldn't go to the roots, because then the roots would come.
You know
and
what?
it
Better
will
yet,
dry.
just black and white, and then here. Kidding.
Meanwhile,
Joking.
Natalie's mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry. If you're having a heart attack, you know, it's a joke, I hope.
I mean, I
Natalie,
am living on my own.
don't you,
so...
yeah, but don't you dare get off this podcast, go cut your hair and then blame it on me. I get the blame for everything on these things. I don't even say anything. It's like, oh, Adrian made me do it. It's like, I didn't say anything. And for the record, I hate bangs and I hate fringes. So there you go. It's not, the bangs I'm kind of kidding about, although I still don't get bangs.
You know, I think that bangs
fringes,
are cute, but they're more of like a trend right now, kind of like the whole fast fashion thing. I worry that if I were to get bangs, they would go out of style in about a month or two.
Probably. That's normally the way it goes.
Yeah. So I just keep it long.
I don't know. I've just never been a fan of bangs or fringes. People who get fringes and they go, oh, you know, new look, new me. And I'm like, and I'm not one of those people who go, I like the way you looked before better, because I'm not that person. But it's just like, I've never seen a fringe on someone and gone, you look better with it.
I was going to go,
I've
never
always
seen a
liked it
fringe
when they
that I
grow it
liked.
out.
What's a fringe? Is it
Pretty
just
much.
like the short?
It's the bangs.
Curtains.
It's like,
You know, when
like
the hair comes
really
down
like
to
blunt
here.
ones.
It's a look.
And it's cut off like that.
It's
And I just kind
some
of,
So
people.
the boxed one, just straight down.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like a Lego man. Remember when you're playing with Lego and they have the hair that you can literally put on their head and just goes boom. And I'm like,
That's
But
what my
compare
mom
that
used to.
like Gizelle's hair. Like I think like long hair done up like in a ponytail or something that looks amazing. But yeah, thank you, Danielle. Not quite like that. I think if it looked like that, no
Great
one would be doing it.
representation. Yeah.
Guess you got to find something to do with your hair.
My mom used to cut my brother's hair that way. She used to put like a bowl on his head and
Yes. we call that literally a bowl cut. I don't know if you guys call it the same thing.
Us too.
But here in Australia, here in Australia back in the day, it was famous, the Chinese people, because they wouldn't want to spend money on a hair and a hairdresser, they would literally just have the bowl cut, put a giant bowl on their head and like zip, 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 zip. But I've heard horror stories from my hairdresser about people who've tried to not only cut but color their hair at home. One, I can't remember exactly what happened, but one of the girls managed to turn her hair bright orange or pink with black dots in it, like spots like a leopard. And she phoned up in a panic because she was a high school girl. And she was like, oh, can you fix it? Can you fix it? Can you fix it? And she was like, oh, you have to come in to see how bad it is. And I told her literally what she should do is get photos of all these worst hair disasters ever and just put them on your social media and just say, I fixed this, I fixed this, I fixed this. Because there's some proper disasters. So I don't know if you guys color your hair at home, but that seems to be the place where a lot of people go wrong. Like too long, not enough, falling asleep with it in your hair, missing a spot at the back, so you literally have weird shapes in your hair. It's, not such a good look.
I love watching those. Have you seen the Brad Mondo videos?
The what?
Brad Mondo, yes. Gizzelle knows what I'm on about. I'm addicted to watching it. Basically, it's people that do the home dye. And there's this hairdresser that's quite flamboyant and really cool. And he watches and reviews people dyeing their hair at home. And his name's Brad Mondo. And those videos, you find that when you watch a video on Facebook, do you find this, Gizzelle? You watch one video and the next one will come up Brad Mondo. And what's the other one that always comes up? You know, the murder, the crime and makeup girl? What's her name? Bailey Sayran?
Oh, Bailey,
yes.
And you just keep on watching them and you're like,
just watch
go to bed.
Hang on. Is it PG? Like if I play a video, okay? So let's just have a look at one of these.
Brad Mondo.
And he does reviews of America's Next Top Model, the makeovers that they do. He does reviews of that.
I'm going to do hairdresser reacts to people cutting their own curtain bangs because that seems
there we go.
Hi, beautiful. You look stunning.
I love
Thank
him.
you for being here and gracing me with your presence. Today we're watching people give themselves curtain bangs. Curtain bangs are one of the easier things to do to your own hair. Honestly, if you look up like one tutorial and kind of just copy what they do, you could probably do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add a bevel. He said to take it this way, and then I cut.
Oh, no. Should have practiced one time on somebody else first before we did it on ourselves, or like
on somebody else.
I have more mannequins than I'll ever need in my entire life, but people don't usually have that, so I have to understand. What maybe I don't know what she should. Well, so
that actually looks like something I might
It's
enjoy.
so funny.
Okay,
And when
that's
it
my
comes
viewing.
out good, whenever they come out good, he's like, how?
I mean, Danny, as a stylist, how do you think that look would look on me? What Brad's wearing? What do you think?
The bright
The
pink
chain
red hair.
and the
Oh,
these,
do
I don't know
it,
what you call
Adrian.
them.
I'm all for it. You've already done the frosted tips. You might as well go all the way and go red.
What? You
Yeah.
had frosted tips?
Natalie, I not only had
Picture,
frosted tips,
picture.
I had hair halfway down my back at one stage in a long ponytail.
What?
So, Danielle, have I told you the story as to why I cut my hair off?
You may have done.
You can't remember?
No.
Okay. So, Natalie, when I went to Hawaii, this is when I was in Hawaii and realized that no one has speed limits. I had hair because at the time I was teaching myself tennis and I loved Roger Federer. Roger Federer had a ponytail, so of course I grew a ponytail because it's all in the ponytail, right? It's not that he's a talented athlete, it's because of his hair.
The power
So I
of the
ended up
pony.
growing exactly a long ponytail, which, by the way, when you play tennis, it's really cool because it comes around and whips you in the face. Long story short, I went to Hawaii with my best mate. And, you know, he's one of those people who loves taking pictures. I'm horrible at that. I've gotten a lot better now. But he's got to take photos of everything. And he took a photo of me when I was sitting on the beach. I didn't know. And I was going through his photos after the fact. We got back from Hawaii. And then I saw this photo of what I thought was a random girl sitting on the beach. And I was like, Nero, why'd you take a photo of this random girl sitting on the beach? And he goes, mate, that's you. And I was like,
That's what I look like from
after
behind.
that, no, it was from front. It was from in front. It was from in front because I had taken my hair out of the ponytail and I'd just been surfing. So with the salt water, it's just like, you know, long blonde hair, and you couldn't tell. I didn't have a facial hair or anything. So it was after that I decided maybe I should cut the ponytail off. If I can't tell whether I'm a girl or not in a photo, I think I have to cut it off. So yes, long hair and blonde, like bleach blonde. Yeah, we all make mistakes in life. Okay, give me a break. Speaking of tennis, Natalie, are you still playing tennis?
Well,
are you still
okay.
tennising? I'm still waiting for your serving video, by the way. I haven't forgotten about that.
Honestly, here's my issue though. All my friends here, they don't play tennis. And so I'm kind of waiting until I get to SMU in the fall to find like somebody or maybe like a tennis club, you know what I mean? Because I'm not good at tennis, but I do have a very good serve. And so I'm just kind of waiting on that. But, you know, when I move in August, I've got Texas Teen September, but watch out, October, the serve is coming at you.
Are you left-handed?
No, I'm not. I'm right-handed.
Okay, all right.
You know, but I think I think I am supposed to be left-handed though, because I'm left foot dominant and I can write really well with my left hand. Yeah, I think my parents kind of did that to me.
I don't know
they
what
made
it
me
is
write.
with you American pageant girls and being left-handed and playing tennis. It's weird because we had Savannah Miles on and she's left-handed as well. Although I had the feeling like if you served at her, she would just be hit by the ball. I don't think she's any good. Sorry, Savannah, if you're watching, she's just learning. Well, I mean, you saw the way she was telling us what her favorite shot was, and she said, "Simone, when you go up to the net and you just go like this," and she winked. I went wink because that's no one needs to see it. I'm like, and she was with two hands. I'm like, no, I don't know what shot are you doing at the net where you go like this? And anyway, long story short, I need the tennis video though, Nat. You promised me a tennis serve video. And then I can analyze it and tell you everything you've done wrong with your entire life.
You know what? Sounds perfect. That's about what my brother does when he sees me play tennis. I remember that. So, yeah.
Now, going all the way back, Rachel, who is from Scotland, has said that it's genuinely the best. Those are generally the best Scottish accents I've heard. That's sad, Rachel. Surely you've heard Scottish people doing better Scottish accents. And do it again. Take it away then, Gizzelle. For the rest of this podcast, you must speak with a Scottish accent.
Oh, wait. Just let me start slow first and say Space Ghetto.
That's the only words you can say is literally Spice Girl over and over again. Ralph has said good afternoon. All hope you're doing well. Hello, Ralph. And Lucy has said hi from another tall redhead. Lucy, how tall are you?
What?
The bar is set
Redheads
at 5'10".
Yeah, I know. It's truly a club. It's really strange. I don't
I'm
know
the
any
only
other.
one. I'm the only one in my cousins that hasn't got red hair.
Really?
And that's both on my mum's side and my dad's side.
That's really strange. I have
I
like
know.
one random cousin. Like I think there's two of us that have red hair, or three, but it's just because we're Dutch. And so in every family, everybody is blonde with blue eyes, or there's the one random redhead with green eyes. So I carry that trait. Technically, I'm a mutant because green eyes are a mutation, and so is the red hair. But you know what? I prefer to call myself a unique unicorn. But
Superpower.
Yeah.
It worked for you
know.
though. I can't imagine you with any other features.
Thank
And
you.
You probably get this a lot, but you look like an actress, and it's great to say her name because I think you get it a lot probably.
I get a lot
Which
on
one?
my TikTok. There's like 3 redheads that I get a lot. Oh, what are their names?
You know who
don't
I
know.
think you look like? Heather Graham.
That's who it is. I get Heather
That's
Graham.
what I wanted to say. I was
Yeah.
just scared to say her name.
I can see that. But Heather Graham is neither a redhead nor is she tall.
blonde.
She's
Blonde.
blonde, right?
She's like a
But
But it's the
strawberry
facial
blonde.
features.
Yeah, she. Well, I never thought of that until.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Mind blown.
She's beautiful. So are you, so
Oh, thank you.
absolutely stunning. When she was in Austin Powers, and I was like, "Ooh, big fan." She's
Gold crush
hot in
every
that.
day. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to imagine Danielle with red hair. I can't.
Really?
I can imagine it
I could be red.
very
I've
easily.
got like a red. I've got a red tone.
Yeah, you have like a little bit of a
Red
tint to
tone,
it.
yeah, but maybe it's just because you showed me Brad and he's got like, the bright.
Not that bright red. No.
Yeah, I
So-
think what I'm trying to imagine you as is with hair like this color. And I can't quite imagine that.
Poison ivy vibes.
Yeah.
I'm seriously thinking about doing
Red
that. Why
dye
not?
is a nightmare to get out of the hair, so I don't think I would. If I was going to go, I'd go more like a burgundy
Yeah.
than a red.
Yeah, don't try to dye your hair red. It just never turns out how you want it to. So, but like before a pageant, if I want my hair to look brighter, I don't dye it. I just throw in a tint. And so it brings, well, I don't do it. My hairstylist does. She's amazing. But basically it just brings out all the natural highlights in your hair and it makes it
Love
just a little
that.
bit brighter. So it's a lot healthier for your hair too, for any color.
There you go.
One of my
Uh,
favorite Miss USA is Alyssa Campanella.
Yes. Stunning.
Redhead. And there hasn't been a redhead since. So
I know, that's-
overdue.
I know that's part of like not part of my platform, but there's never been a redheaded Teen USA. And so I'm like, well,
I don't think there's ever been a redheaded Miss Universe.
right.
One for the future,
Possibility.
maybe?
Yeah, right, exactly.
You heard it here. You heard it here first. Lucy has said, I'm 5'8" at 13, and with
Oh,
bright
wow.
red hair, I always stand out and refer to as the ginger one. Well,
Me too, girl.
standing out is good,
Yes,
as you've seen.
absolutely.
Gizzelle, have you ever tried tinting your hair some weird color? I can't imagine you with hair. I'm suddenly going emo Gizzelle and just going, oh, with black hair. Be like, oh, back to
That's
emo
when
rock.
the
Have you ever
rage-
dyed your hair any weird colors?
No, I've had weird highlights. A green and I think it was a pink. Just highlights, just for in high school, be cool, be one of those, just try
Green
it.
and pink.
Green and pink. It was only two. It was only two little
Little like
right?
Like the
those
strands.
little-
the hair
Yeah.
mascaras.
Just like little
Yes.
nothing too crazy. Yeah, my mom is quite strict on my hair, so
Mine too.
no. Oh, see, good.
What is it with
Okay.
mums being strict
this is
about
good.
hair? My mum would always have a go at me. Like, I'm 32 years of age, and even still, she will not let me cut my hair short.
Yeah. Right. Me too.
They
That's a
never
mom
go
thing.
out with
Okay,
it.
but
Look,
Guys,
it's not
sometimes
my
it's
fault,
good.
okay? If you guys go off this podcast and you go cut your hair, I'm just telling the world now, it's not my fault, okay? Don't blame me. I'm not encouraging them to do it, okay? They're
if we-
independent women.
So you heard it
If
here.
we
Adrian
encourage-
said to cut it.
We encourage Adrian now to, I think what Dan you
Cut
said,
my hair.
cross the tips or something.
Let's go blonde.
But I think it's only fair if the ladies can also just, you know.
Or at least
can
a
just
wig.
I can
Oh,
just
I just
imagine
want a
all the
wig.
mums coming at you with pitchforks.
Yeah.
I will make you a deal. If any one of you goes a wacky hair color, then I will go a wacky hair color too. Okay? That's as far as I'm going to. I mean, I can't cut my
Gizzelle,
hair.
you got it.
Buy
You're
a wig.
carrying us.
Buy a wig.
Deal.
I quite miss my long hair from time to time. You know, when I'm driving with the window down.
Go play
with,
tennis and you won't miss
wind
it.
in your hair. No, it's great not being able to see. There was one Russian girl who she had a long, probably hair as long as Gizelle's, and she had it braided in a ponytail, and she hit a backhand, and then the hair spun around and went around and got stuck in her racket, so then she couldn't play the rest of the point because she was literally had tied herself up into her own racket with her ponytails. I understand what actually that feels like.
That's one of my worst fears. So when we go to a theme park, my hair is always as close to my head and as flat as possible because after watching Final Destination, you don't play with that.
No. I was going to
You don't
say,
I hate those films.
The one where the whole hair pulls her scalp off. Yeah.
Yep.
And there's a tearing sound. Yeah,
so these
pretty
girls
juicy, wet tearing sound.
No, these girls go with loose hair, and I just look around me and just frightened for their lives. So,
Well, you'd be like in The Incredibles, where the person who's designing their costume says never have a cape, and then the bad guy has a cape, and then he gets sucked into the airplane because of the cape. So you'd be like that. No long hair. I'm not encouraging anyone to chop their hair off, okay? But I'm just saying.
It's a hazard. Adrian tells us so.
Yeah. Because you all do what I say, right? Because I'm that influential. Leah has said, as crazy as this is, my hair goes red if I stay in the sun for too long. My gran bless us to take the Mickey probably out of me, but I do love it when it goes red. I know hair can change color. I've seen people who are sort of dark blonde go blonder in the sun. I didn't know it could go red. That's a new one.
Yeah, like a lot of people that have crazy dark hair, whether that being black or really dark brown, if they sit out in the sun, especially here in Texas, it'll start to get the red tints
like
and red strands. Yeah, it's like it's getting bleached.
Maybe I should go to Texas then. I don't need a hairdresser. Just go to Texas.
Exactly.
My mum is so strict when it comes to my hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're noticing a common theme here.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys tell me. They're your mums.
It's sometimes a good thing because, I mean, if my mom didn't stop me at some point, it would have gone a very weird way. I cut my hair once, and since then she was like,
Yeah, that's how mine has been. When I was younger, do y'all have Locks for Love?
I've heard about it.
When you give your hair.
Right. Yeah, so you cut your hair off about 10 inches and then you donate it and it goes to cancer patients. And so when I was younger, my hair grew so quickly that when I was 4 years old, I was able to cut it off and donated it. And it's still into like the middle of my arm. And then I cut it off, I think 3 more times. And that was like the shortest it's ever been. And it still was just like arm length and not even to my shoulders. But it absolutely broke my mom's heart because she would divide my hair into 4 ponytails and she would cut each one off at 10 inches. But my hair was so thick that it broke the scissors in half. And so for a few hours, I was running around the house with half long hair and half short. So that was fun. Yeah. Who needs a hairstylist, right? When you've got kitchen scissors.
Your hair sounds like mine. Mine is incredibly thick as well. So when it was long, all the girls would be jealous of my hair because it would just be so long and thick. And obviously I bleached it blonde, but it didn't have split ends or anything. So although I've never broken anyone's scissors. I mean, that is next level.
It is on my resume. It's pretty impressive.
So the pageant
that can be your talent.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, talent section. Watch me break this pair of scissors with my hair. Like,
yes.
Go you.
Exactly.
Leah said, I'm a twin. She goes blonde, I go red.
Wow. That's awesome.
I want to see that. I want to sort of see that as in a time lapse.
One of those
time lapse videos. That'd be cool. All right. Well, we've been on for a minute, so we'll begin to wrap it up. Let's go with Danny. Danny, what exciting things do you have coming up in the next week or so?
I've been really busy with styling. So I've got a few more styling sessions, more international clients, which is amazing. So it's having to figure out time differences. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll have work, the normal 9 to 5, and then a lot of styling. Now I'm sorted. I can sort everyone else out.
This is true. Welcome to my world when it comes to sorting out time differences. I still get people telling me all the time, I don't understand the time difference. It's so weird. And then people booking in for AM rather than PM. I'm like, guys, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Just pick your time zone and then put the right time. Anyway, Gizzelle, what have you got coming up in the next? I mean, we've got you back on it's the 4th of May. So Gizzelle will be back with us on the 18th, which is the day before her birthday. So we have to have a birthday themed
Birthday
podcast.
party.
Turning 53. But Gizzelle, up until that point, she said it, not me. What exciting things do you have coming up?
I take it week by week, just really slow because there's a lot going on now. But after winning the international pageant, so there's a lot of planning. I'm still also just trying to find my feet with work and everything. That obviously just a little bit chaotic at the moment. So just take it week by week. Exciting projects coming up. Can't wait to share those. I'm getting back in the swing and also getting back into my youth group at church. So I'm very excited. So a lot of things happening, but we'll take it step by step.
Is this the same group that held you down whilst they put a tarantula on you?
You're telling that story live. No, luckily not. These people actually do want me to continue there. So no, that's not the same. Yes, people at church just put a tarantula on me and the spider is like my worst fear.
They're trying to get you over your fear.
No, we were playing Fear Factor, and for some reason they picked the young blonde girl in the corner who just looked afraid. So they just picked on me and they were like, "We choose you." So after that, I didn't go back to that church.
I showed Gizzelle a video of someone eating a tarantula.
Please don't show that.
I actually managed to.
You've gotten a lot better.
No, I can't look at a photo. Is that a photo?
Here we go.
Is that a photo? Ah, see, I can't.
No,
I can't.
Don't stop being mean.
Okay, over. See, I can't.
It's gone. It's right there. It's on his hand, but it's gone.
I freaked out yesterday.
No, I couldn't help myself.
I had to get my other half because there was 2 baby snails that had fallen off of our we have like food wastage bins that we fill up with like food leftovers, and then we put it out and they take it out for like composting. Because I brought the bucket in from the garden, there was 2 baby snails that fell off there. And guys, my biggest fear in life is snails, and I freaked out. I screamed. My other half thought I was being murdered, and it was basically down to two tiny baby snails that he had to remove. I thought they were little stones. I thought it was like a little pebble, but yeah, I saw it up close and I saw the little those things.
Whatever those are. I feel you.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten snails, Danielle?
Nope.
So
you won't ever
good.
get me near them.
What?
Mm-mm.
Isn't it called escargot? That's what it
Escargot,
is.
Yeah.
But they're a different type of snail. So I'm not too bad with like sea snails because the shell's harder. And I feel like those type of snails, maybe the shells are a little bit harder. Not that I'd want to eat them, but it's the common garden snail. It's a really crunchy shell.
You can eat those. Gordon Ramsay had a section where he got the snails from his garden and then just put them through the cleansing. So, you're not supposed to give them anything to eat. You just give them something that sort of gets any chemicals out of them, and then he ate them. So, yeah, they don't have to be sea snails. And here in Australia, what actually happens is they get the snails out of the shells already, and they actually need to buy shells in particular for the presentation. So after they've cooked the snails, they'll put them in, as silly as it sounds, put them in the shell. But the thing is, Natalie, I don't think they taste that good. It's normally the garlic butter you have with them that
you have to
tastes
douse them in the garlic butter. I don't know. I like the texture though. They have like a really good. It's not too chewy, but then it's not crunchy like how chicken can be. So I loved it. First time I had it was actually in the UK. Absolutely amazing.
Danielle's looking slightly queasy. This is hilarious.
No, I've got deep-rooted trauma associated with snails, so I will not be going near them. I'm all for like trying other people's delicacies and food and cultures, but snails is one that I draw the line under. Deep-rooted trauma to snails.
Well, so what we've basically worked out is that if the three of you were basically to come over to Australia and even into my garden, only Natalie would actually be okay with it. Because out there right now, there are spiders. And
spiders
that's true. And snails. There's more snails out there than spiders. And the worst part is when you go out at night and you can't see anything. And then you step on one of the damn things.
No, I get someone to give me
I can't do it. I don't like the
someone
crunchy.
Someone has to carry me on their back.
Yeah, well, like, see, we don't have the massive snails we do have big spiders, but we're more concerned about when we walk outside and it's dark out, the skunks, the raccoons, the possums, and snakes. Yeah, we had a really bad skunk problem this year. It was so bad to the point that it got cornered up against our house and our air conditioning unit. And so my dad was like, okay, it's going to either
what do I do?
Right, exactly. So my dad, that night was so bad. He laid on the ground and he was like, okay, all I have to do is, meanwhile, we've been throwing stones at the skunk, trying to get it to move. Wouldn't move. So my dad's laying there with his shotgun. Well, not even a shotgun. It was like it was a tiny rifle. And so we're like, okay, if you hit the unit or if you hit the duct that connects to the house, it's going to bust the unit. So my dad is a very, very skilled at shooting, great at like target sighting, that sort of thing. So we're like, okay, yeah, you've got it. It's pitch black outside. And so he lays on the ground. Meanwhile, our whole family, like grandparents and everything, we're all there watching. I'm videoing.
Yeah.
Yes. He nails
TikTok live.
Yes. And you can just hear it. It shoots up the antifreeze or something like that into the air.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a rough night, and then the skunk sprayed, and birds got in our house. So it was wonderful.
You got the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love that. That's so different because obviously in the UK and Australia, I don't know about South Africa, we can't have guns like that. The farmers can, I believe, when they have to cull kangaroos because kangaroos are actually a pest. But when I say farmers, they're like hours and hours in the middle of Australia.
In the bush.
So,
yeah, we have to.
Yes,
we've got things trying to kill us.
Yeah, we have things that try to kill us, but they tend to be taken care of with a flip-flop or a thong, as Australians say. The worst things in Australia are not the spiders or the snails. It's the stuff that's in the water. And I'm not talking about sharks. There's one jellyfish here that we needed to be... I took a first aid course. This jellyfish, I think it's called the irukandji jellyfish. It's so bad that they had to teach us about this separately. First off, I think the tentacles are really long and they're translucent. So you can't see them when you dive in the water. So what happens sometimes is someone will, dive off a pier and go straight into the middle of a bunch of tentacles, which then wrap around you. But the pain from this jellyfish is so bad that you want to die. You die because your body basically shuts down and goes, no, this is too much pain, I can't handle it, and just goes into shock and you die. It's like, that's nice. And basically there's nothing you can do because, don't go in the water. I'm slightly phobic of the water. That's what I don't like. I don't like not knowing what's there. So when you go to a beach and then suddenly like seaweed wraps around your legs, I'm not a fan of that.
Freak out.
But there's a lot of surfing spots in Australia, though. Like Bondi Beach, I think, is a big one.
That's why I went to Hawaii to surf.
And sharks.
Clever.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of sharks because sharks, if they get you, they get you. And honestly, if I can swim faster than the person next to me, I always have to go with someone who's a slow swimmer because then the shark will get them. That's like the joke we tell the UK backpackers, like, you don't need to outswim the shark. You just need to swim the person next to you because then the shark will eat your slow friend and not eat you. It's all good.
There was a video of an Australian guy in South African waters because Jeffreys Bay is where they usually host really big surfing competitions. I think like for Billabong and all of those. And there's actually a video, it was caught on video, of an Australian guy. He turned to his side, and there was a shark coming, and he punched it. And the thing just, you know, obviously it just went away. So he just punched it, and it was all good. He walked out. So
there's a story. There's a legitimate story. I thought it was a joke. There's a story of a guy in Australia got bit by a shark, comes out of the water, and he's wrestling the damn thing, right? Punching it. Won't go down. It's a shark. What does he do? There's no one there. There's none of the lifesavers at this particular beach to give him first aid. So he gets in his car, drives to the next beach over, with the shark still attached to him. Gets out there, gets to the next beach. He's still wrestling this shark. The guys can't get the shark off of his leg, so they end up decapitating it. And then he goes, "Oh, thanks for that, mate." Then he's still got the shark head attached to his leg. He then drives himself to the hospital where they finally and they took a photo of it, finally took the bloody thing off
Shark
his leg.
head off.
So, yeah, that's how us Australians deal with sharks. It's don't bite
That's
an Australian
hardcore.
because literally, like we had people going after them with cricket bats, and it's the shark bit off literally more than it could chew.
Wow.
Funny. That is crazy.
Moving along.
Well, it's a good story. It's a good story, though. And I mean, eventually
Natalie.
the shark would have given up because, I mean, it's outside of the water.
I think it gave up when its head came off, but I don't know. It could have been really stubborn. Natalie, what have you got coming up exciting wise? I mean, you got the pageant coming up in a few months.
Yes.
You're starting college.
I am, yeah. So I'm super excited about starting college. It's going to be an amazing experience because, like I said, I homeschooled my senior year. So I'm very excited to kind of get back into the campus feel and be living on campus with a roommate. So I cannot wait. It's going to be living like with a foreign exchange student since she's from the UK. She's incredibly sweet. And so she tells me that I have an accent, which cracks me up. I'm just waiting for her to get here because she is super excited for all of the cowboys that are in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I mean, there are a lot of cowboys here. So she's coming to school in the right place. And then let's see, this week I've got finals. So fingers crossed that I do well on those. And then I'm flying back home on Thursday for Mother's Day to be with my family. So I'm excited. I haven't been completely all together with everybody in a long time. So I can't wait to see everyone. And yeah. Oh, and I'm going to Greece this summer. So can't wait for that. Yeah.
You're going to love it there.
I can't
Beautiful.
wait. I've always
Where
wanted to
in
go
Greece?
to Santorini, Athens, and Mykonos.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It's better than the photos, I can tell you that.
Have you been?
Yes.
Oh my
Amazing.
gosh.
It's
I
better
can't
than
wait.
the photos.
It looks beautiful. It truly looks stunning. So I'm like, well, I haven't been out of this country, and I want to say, well, I guess right at a year. So I can't wait to be in a different country for the first time in forever.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for myself, what I will say tomorrow, I believe it's tomorrow. Hang on, I'm looking at Gizelle's birthday. Tomorrow I am interviewing at this time Emma Loney, who is Miss Southern Illinois, I believe, USA. Sorry if I got that wrong. But that will be at
Love
this time
her.
tomorrow. So
She's a
talking a lot about
goddess.
body image, which I think is super, super important. And then next week on the podcast, we will have Guinevere Davenport, who's actually over in Hawaii. And she's just gotten through to Miss Hawaii USA finals, I think. So that should be exciting. Got a bit of an American bent going on, which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, we're pretty fun people.
Well, when I talk to Americans, I don't end up in stupid arguments about scones, Danielle.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Natalie, do you guys have scones or scones in America?
Scones. We do have scones.
Okay. What do you put on top of said scone?
Typically a jam or cream spread.
Okay, and which one do you put on first, or does it not matter?
I was told I actually had a tea party with a woman that was from the UK, and she told me
Oh
that
God, here we go.
you put the spread of the cream on first.
Yes.
Why would you put
Which means it's
jelly on
wrong.
first? No, why would you?
Exactly. See?
Yes.
See? Oh no, you go. No. Okay, we're gonna
Cream
stop
on
here.
first. Cream on first. Cream on
Good
first.
God
Cream
damn.
on
Well,
first.
No,
Africans,
even
okay,
I do
but
that. What?
South African and Australians sort of do things the same way. So we also just put the jelly first, and then it's a cream
put the jam
spray.
on first.
It's a spray.
Spray?
We use
the
whipped
cream.
cream spray.
Yeah.
Whipped cream.
Yeah. So we use that.
Yeah,
so
you
we'll
can-
just, whip it.
You can
on
use
top.
whipped cream. The psh.
Like a little cute swirl, and
No.
then you're done.
You
But
need
we use
good
it
clotted cream.
We don't
You
use-
need
Yes.
good clotted cream.
Exactly. And you know what? I actually went and had, what's it called? I was in Sydney, I believe, or Sydney or no, I was in Sydney, and we went and had.
Under the Harbour Bridge.
No, we had high tea in one of. I want to say it was isn't there a palace in Sydney?
Oh, the QVB, the Queen Victoria building
Yep,
in the middle of
yep.
the city.
Yes, we went and had
Yep.
high tea there, and they were explaining how to do it properly. And the proper way to do it is by putting the spread on first, and then a jam or a jelly. So even the
They're wrong.
Australians,
They're wrong. That's why we've locked them in the middle of the city, and they're overpriced and going out of business because they're wrong. Basically, I just said it's nice to have an American on to not have the argument, and now we're having the bloody argument again. So
You brought
it's
it
not-
up.
Not working.
Do you know what's a big thing in South Africa
brought it
that
up.
we struggle with is the way that we eat meat. So you get the extremes that either it's super well done when it's on the barbecue or we go fry,
Destroyed.
or excuse me, you have to
Destroyed.
cook.
As
When it's
Gordon
on
Ramsay
fire,
would
it's
say,
meat.
destroyed, where it has no taste.
When it's
And it
on
looks like a
dry,
leather
you
boot.
have to overcook it.
Exactly the way I like it. Most
Only because you
balanced
don't know how to
food.
cook it.
so you eat jerky.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes,
Yeah,
basically.
dry as cardboard. And then you go,
Properly
it's really dry, I need
cooked.
sauce on it. It's because you've overcooked it to all, you know what. So,
It's
yeah.
still saucy. You can
If
still
you
have
have
the flavor.
any nice steak, if you get like a Wagyu or Kobe beef and you did that,
Yeah, but
they
you
would
wouldn't put that
flay
on
you
barbecue.
alive.
Yeah, can we just all agree
No.
that like the best barbecue is in Texas?
I've never had a Texan barbecue, not a real one, so I don't know.
Oh my goodness!
I feel
I'm
like
hurt.
Texan style barbecue is. I don't eat meat, but when
Yeah.
I used to eat meat, it used to be more like Texican.
Yeah,
Texican.
That's
That's
what
like
they call it.
That's a new
Made a word now.
Texas
made a
and
word.
Mexican. Texican.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Especially in San Angelo, where I'm from, it's only 2 hours from the border, so a lot of the style is mixed with a Mexican style and the Texas style. So you get Texican and you get or Tex-Mex, and that's the type of food that you get. And it's absolutely wonderful.
So what's a Texan barbecue? Just quickly, because I have no idea what makes it special.
Oh, everything. It's where
It's like the
barbecue
hickory-
originated. Yes,
Hickory
and you get a
smoked.
Yeah, you get a real strong smoke taste to it. If it's
Ah.
done poorly, then it just tastes like you're chewing on smoke.
Smoke.
But if it's done the correct
don't-
way, it's absolutely wonderful.
Right.
I feel there's a lot of
Okay.
like
I've had-
brisket in
Yep.
like sauce, in that kind of
Yes.
gravy juice.
I've
I
had
don't eat meat,
Brazilian.
but you can tell I miss it.
Like Brazilian, like churrasco, like we have some Brazilian barbecue restaurants here, and they have like a lot of meat, and it's like things on skewers, and they just kind of meat. So if it's anything like that, I don't generally. Oh no, I eat a fair bit of meat. I used to be vegan. I don't know. I'm a walking hypocrite. Okay, so just get over
I'd
it.
love
It's
to
all good.
try like real southern food. I mean, I'm supposed to be in Tennessee in October, and I want to try.
Oh my gosh, that's the best place to do it. Tennessee has
Oh, there
such
you
good
go.
barbecue.
I
Eat up while you're
really
there.
want to, like, as much as I don't want to eat meat, I am tempted because I know that it is so good, and I want
Yes.
to try everything. Like, is
Well, it's
it
an experience.
biscuits and gravy? Is that a southern thing? Dumplings?
Yeah.
Is that?
Biscuits
I
are
wanna-
scones, aren't
I'd
they?
like to try all of it. Yeah, they're like a
I heard
scone
biscuits are
type.
like scones.
Biscuits are a little bit, I want to say, softer. They're not as crumbly as scones, and they peel apart better. So typically, I've seen weird people put like the spread on the outside, but typically, as Americans, we break it apart and then we put a spread and then a jam or
Yeah.
jelly. Notice the order: spread, then jam and
Yeah,
jelly.
the wrong
And
way
then we
around.
close
It's okay.
it.
You're on the other side of the world. You're upside down. So literally, it's
You're
fine. I
right.
got
You're
this.
right.
I'm so tempted
Giselle,
if I
no,
see anyone
that's
do
not
that,
how you
but, like,
cook your meat.
I'm so tempted.
I feel so attacked. Just brought it up,
Good.
guys. Seriously, the people here attack me because that's the way they enjoy it. Is with
I feel like
I don't know with them. blood
barbecues
running
here.
out.
We overcook on barbecues here in Britain because we very rarely get good weather to be able to cook on a barbecue, that we forget how to cook on a barbecue. So we just leave
when
it
you
on there for
get good
ages.
weather in the UK, you guys all go out and cook yourselves. It's 20 degrees out. Let's go out and get sunburnt in 5 minutes. You guys could look at a photo of the sun and you'd be like, oh my God, it's so hot, I'm getting sunburnt. And you come back looking like a lobster. It's like, it's hilarious.
I have been on holiday maybe a couple of times and we've gone to the beach and it's poured down with rain and you still just sit on the beach in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, this is why I'm not going to take advice on how to eat my scones from you, because you sit out on the beach when it's
so
raining.
British.
Who does that?
It's
just wrong. It's wrong.
Like our restaurants and bars are still closed, but they are taking bookings for outdoors. Well, it's been raining, and you can bet that people are still sitting out in the rain and having their pint because we're hard, we're British, we can put up with the weather.
Wet, damp, and miserable with your warm beer.
Yeah.
Just no.
Okay, rain-filled beer.
We've had our obligatory argument that we seem to have every week on this podcast. Gizzelle, that is not how you cook your meat unless you don't want to taste your meat. That's the only time you destroy it like that. So
you're welcome.
I'm glad that
for me teaching you guys the proper way of eating meat.
Fair enough. I guess you're the queen now, so I have to do as you say. All right, let's say Lucy has said cream's heavier. It should go on first. Exactly. I don't care.
I do have a solution to this. So in South Africa, we don't usually have like a jam and a cream. So we have butter or margarine with cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So
cheese cone.
There you go. There's a solution.
But what goes on first, the cheese or the butter?
That's not a solution to anything.
It's going to be difficult to put on.
What are you eating in South Africa? Chocolate donuts, waffles with Nutella, and then scones with cheese, and then overcooked meat? No,
that's me. That's me. No. South Africans will get very angry if I say that's how we eat meat. They usually eat it with the blood still running out, which is but
and moving still, right?
Oh my goodness! How do you look at that and be like, yeah, that looks like a good steak? Oh yes, baby.
Have you ever had steak tartare? Gizzelle, have you ever had steak tartare?
I have.
Well, there you go. I hope you didn't cook it.
No. We were at a very fancy restaurant, and it's very funny because the chef came over and he was like, "I'm doing well done. Are you crazy?" And I was like, "Well, I don't like well
Gizzelle,
done."
Look at what Freya. So Freya over here in Scotland, some restaurants here refuse to cook past medium rare because it destroys the meat. I'm a blue gal personally, so blue is literally seared eat. It's not even rare. It's sear, and in the middle, you probably could say it's actually still raw. Yeah, which is how I used to do it. Now I don't do it quite that much.
That will make me go vegan. That will make me go vegan.
I've got a quick story. When I was a teenager, me and a boyfriend at the time we was being very romantic. We went to Paris for a couple of days. Now he was very lazy with learning languages, so we went to this restaurant and my French was pretty good. And I was like, I was trying to translate everything, and he was just like, just order me whatever. He was getting frustrated. He wouldn't order anything. Right. So I ordered him un cheval tartare. So those that speak French know that is raw horse.
I was going to say a cheval is horse, isn't it? Raw
and
horse.
He ate it, and then
did he know?
Like, nope. I told him afterwards, and he wanted to vomit. It was his fault for not picking something. He said, "Just order me anything," so I did.
It really experiencing the culture. I mean, dive head first in.
Well, yeah, you don't eat the culture generally. I mean, you go over there and eat the Eiffel Tower.
No, different cultures have different types of food. So, that's my thing.
I know.
Every country I go to, Australia, I ate kangaroo. It was great.
Oh, did you have the kangabangers?
The what?
Kangabanger.
Kangaroo.
Kangabangers.
Or an emu burger.
So
It's a thing?
bangers are sausages. So kangabangers are roo sausages.
I
Sausages
think-
made of kangaroo.
I think I did, and then I also had a kangaroo pizza.
Kangaroo
Yeah.
pizza, we have ostrich, alligator. Because kangaroos are here a pest. So literally,
Yeah.
if you eat kangaroo, and it's a very lean protein, so it's good for you, you're doing the world a favor by eating Skippy.
Yeah, they're
So-
like the venison in Texas. Like we
Yep.
hit deer with our cars on accident at night because they just run out, And I never
Yeah.
realized that that's how.
accident.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I'm going to go for a drive.
No, it ruins the meat. I didn't realize that's how kangaroos were in Australia. And it was crazy.
Kangaroos
I-
actually get hit a lot here as well. If you go for a long drive on the main highway up to like from between
Mhm.
Sydney and Brisbane, you'll see dead roos all on the side of the road. They've just been hit by cars. And actually, they're big enough that the cars sometimes come off. Well, I'm not going to say second best because the kangaroo's dead, but the car ends up being written off because you're
Yeah.
traveling at 100 k's an hour and you smack into a giant roo. It's going to leave a big dent.
Yeah,
So,
that's how it is here.
I must say, these stories kind of horrify me after watching Kangaroo Jack. Being like, they're so cute.
we'll keep going. Eat Skippy. Well, Natalie, I'm going to congratulate you. You are officially the most culinarily advanced and adventurous American that I've ever
you.
met.
Thank
Because
you.
honestly, most Americans that I've had over here, they won't try anything. And the
That's-
first thing they
yeah.
do, whatever you give them, could be a bowl of cornflakes, salt. Shh. I'm like, well, I
That's
haven't
a
even
big-
tasted it yet. What are
yeah.
you doing?
That's a huge
I
American
don't understand
thing.
it.
I've realized that they don't really. I don't speak for all of America. I just speak on what I have seen. A lot of Americans they pour salt on everything, salt and
Yeah.
pepper, and then also ketchup. They are obsessed with ketchup.
Hmm.
What's the other thing? And then they won't try anything. If there is chicken
Yep.
on the
Hot
menu, they
sauce.
will order chicken. Yes, and hot sauce if
Yep.
you're from the South. And I don't like hot sauce, salt, or pepper. And I love duck,
Oh.
escargot, and every other type of food.
You're not
so-
American.
I
You're
don't think
basically
so.
not
You know,
American.
yeah, you were born in the wrong country.
I know. I think I'm more European than I am American.
Well, that's really important, though. I think being able to actually step outside your comfort zone and try something that's a bit different
Yeah.
is actually really important. Although how you
Exactly.
could live in America and not like salt is beyond me, because everything
It makes
in
me
America
sick.
has salt.
Yeah,
that's why I get sick every time I go to the UK or America. I get sick because I normally eat quite healthily, but there's just so much salt and preservatives and God knows what else in all the food. I eat it
It's-
and
yeah.
instantly I get sick.
It makes me incredibly sick. I've had to go pescatarian, and now before Texas Teen, I will be going vegan. It's not because I don't like the meat; it's because it truly makes me sick if it's not completely fresh. Then all the preservatives and everything, it's guaranteed to make me sick, which is so sad because I can go over to Europe and have a piece of pizza or eat the entire thing and feel just fine. So I need those travel bans to open up so I can go get my food.
You need Amazon to use its drones to fly like a pizza
From
and a piece of
Italy.
steak.
Yes.
Yeah, just over to you, over the seas.
Maybe they can ship it.
Okay. Let's. We were going to leave it there, and then I started an argument about food. Good job, me. Thank you to Natalie, obviously, for coming on as our guest,
Oh, thank y'all so much for having me.
and thank you to Gizzelle for subbing in for Chloe. I forgot to say, Chloe is not dead. She's doing her dissertation, which she should be. She's got to do the presentation tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning, in a couple. So she should be back with us next week, and then Gizzelle will be back on in a couple of weeks anyway for her birthday, where she'll be turning 53, and we'll be eating a piece of destroyed steak probably. So thank you, Gizzelle, for coming
And
on.
enjoying it.
Yes. Although as you get older, your teeth get a bit weaker, so be careful you don't lose your teeth in the tough steak. And Danielle, thank you for your time as well. Why are you shaking your head?
Who, me?
Yes, you
I'm
don't like
shaking my
that. You
head.
don't approve of the jokes I'm making.
No, stop being mean. Surprised she even comes back on after you've been so mean.
She might not. She might not.
I
And
know,
by the
she-
way, if these guys, final reminder, if they cut their hair, it's not my fault. Okay? I'm going to leave it there.
Disclaimer.
All right. Now, Gizzelle
Do
and
it,
Natalie, I'm
Nat.
going to tell you this now. because no one ever remembers this. I'm going to hang up with the audience and then play our outro jingle. Afterwards, we'll still be here. So please don't hang up on us just yet and disappear, because it gets very awkward, because then I have to talk to Danielle by herself and then we're going to argue about scones again. Okay. So just hang around for a little bit. Thank you to the audience for watching, and we will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Just a reminder to you entrepreneurial types to come and join us at our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/the pageant boss. I'll see you inside and see you in the next episode.